Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
How
nice
are you
to
doing?
see you.
The same. How are you feeling?
I'm good because I'm at home
Okay.
today. Yeah.
Do you have
Uh,
day off?
maybe yeah, a day off. I did it to myself because today I have a lot of tasks. It's hot tasks. My grandmother arrived at city at me
Mm.
right now because she has some disease of it related on allergic reactions, and
Mhm,
I
mhm.
decided to help with it, and because I'm allergic and I know about this a lot of information, and I decided to help her. I think it's normal to support
Of
the
course.
relatives, close to people, yeah, in this situation. And I'm preparing to living to another country
Mhm,
for some days next week,
mhm,
to Poland to my sister, and some preparating tasks I need to do today, maybe. Yeah.
mhm. Your
uh,
sister lives in Poland, right?
yeah, in Poland, but if I know well that the rules are not changed to visitors, to tourists, and we decided to prepare some documents, paperwork with invitation to me as an employee.
Oh,
Maybe,
yeah.
yeah, it's very funny because I need to. To bring my lacquer in key, maybe, yeah, because I work at the Tony at all, and it doesn't relate it to my invitation, and yeah, it's some funny, but it's one of option to visit
Mhm,
some country, because
mhm,
if you visit the Poland on basis of invitation, you can visit in other countries in your European Union without any problems.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about like vaccination? I know they just ask for this, also documents that you should be vaccinated.
Yeah, if you didn't take some vaccination, you will provide the test
Mhm, mhm,
COVID. I need to pass this test in Ukraine, but this test is not is not is not enough to visit this country, and I need to pass again after I боже, пересекать границу. Как будет? Просто
cross the border.
cross the board, yeah, cross the board.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah.
No, this is so complicated, right?
Yeah, some complicated, but I need to do because I very miss my sister, and I think that I can do it. But sometimes, some weeks, I tried to visit the Crimea, and
Mhm,
this visit is full to me because I didn't. I couldn't cross the board.
mhm.
I received the exception, and yeah,
Rejection, yeah.
rejection. I'm sorry, rejection.
Uh-huh. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Hi, George.
Hi,
How are you
George.
doing today?
Mm, I'm fine.
Okay. Do you have some plans for the week, for the weekend?
Um, I'm planning to go with my friends, under Kiev.
Go where?
No, under Kiev, but Kiev.
Uh,
Countryside. Yeah.
Countryside это ж село.
So what does it mean under Kiev? Can you explain what is this?
Under Kiev it's, ну, под Киевом. Есть области под Киевом. Вот там туда.
Okay, we call it suburbs. It's not under, it's not underground, you know?
Suburb.
Yeah, we call it suburb, or we can say like Nasta said, countryside, the country. It's like outside the Kiev, right? It's like different regions to different as well. We have regions, but definitely it's not under Kiev because it's like literally we can understand it as you go underground. Yeah, like it's not in this case really.
No.
Like suburbs, it's
Suburb
like
Kiev.
some places which are close to Kiev. Yeah, like we call it suburbs or regions. They're just different regions. By the way, we also have the word outskirt. Who knows what is outskirt?
No.
It is the edge of the city. The edge of the city, we call it outskirt. Okay, guys, so let's start today's lesson. Let me just mark your presence. So I would like to start the lesson with the speaking part, which was your homework, and that is page number 29. So do you have some questions to this page?
No, no questions.
No.
So in this case, as you remember, part 1, you will have some brief questions here that you need to answer. It's not like the whole answer, it's not like the long answer. Just briefly say something that you will be asked. Now I would like to check task 2. It's like exercise number 17. I hope that you practiced a little bit because now I'm going to time you and you will speak for about 2 minutes. Let me just find it. You can look through this question again. So, who would like to start?
17, describe a city where you have lived in the past year.
Yes, right. Nasta, can you start?
Okay, yeah, but I didn't prepare to this this exercise, but it's not but it's good. So
if you haven't prepared, so then I can give you 1 minute for preparation.
I think that it doesn't matter. I can start right now.
So
yeah,
then
okay.
I time you, Nasta. I time you for 2 minutes, okay?
Okay, yeah.
You can start.
So I would like to tell you about my up experience to live living in another city. It was Odessa. I graduated very interesting university. It was Odessa War University, and it related to this. Due to this fact, I needed to live some or several times. I was living in this city some ages. Maybe it was 7 years. I admired this city, and I decided to join my life in this city because some sunnies, some parties, and some funny close friends to me, and it was really great time in my life. But I faced with some problems in climate change and with another factors that influence to my bodies, because I am allergic, and in Odessa some trees and other plants were influenced to my body in these factors. But if we are talking about another positive effects to my life, first of all, I found a very close friends, and right now I get well on
Okay,
here.
okay, your time's up. Thank you. So as you can see, sometimes, yeah, you may be, of course, it's okay. It's not a problem in IELTS if you're stopped, yeah, but it's very good that you said something which is bad and something which is positive, but recommended to start with positive and then negative, yeah, like.
Okay, yeah.
So the same task for you, George. Can you start?
Окей. Или вы скажете когда?
Sorry, what's your question?
No, when the timer starts, will you say or?
Yes, you already can start.
Okay. So I was used to live in Mezhygiria. It's a little township which is located in Transcarpathia. I used to go there because I had a swimming camp with my friends. We needed to prepare for the competition in Kiev. So we had a lot of trainings and physical exercise. We came there and lived there for 2 weeks. And this place really fantastic. I really liked all the views from our hotel. These big parks and wild. What I didn't like was a small amount of shops and different and transport, because every day go by foot to the place that you need to be, where you need to be, is really hard, because sometimes this distance was about 5 or 10 kilometers. So not every person could make it.
Have you finished?
Yes.
If you finish a bit earlier, it's okay, but you need to say somehow. For example, you can say the phrase, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, because you need, like, you stopped, yeah, maybe you want to say something more, maybe your accent can. So if you finish earlier, it's also fine. You can say that's it, or well, I think that's it, what can I say? Yeah, like, anyway, you need to finish somehow. So George, you have 6 seconds more, yeah, in this case, but it's okay, it's normal. If you finish a bit earlier, it's not a problem. So the main idea is that you have the topic, describe the city. In some cases, you spoke about city, but in many cases, you said about some problems or reasons why you were in that city. So idea here is just to check your vocabulary of using words about city. For example, like several years ago, I lived in New York. As you already know, this is a megapolis. Yeah, this is the city which has a lot of different historical places and which is famous with its sightseeing. All the tourists, they come to that place to see that river or travel or walk around the Manhattan. Yeah, so try to use some words to really describe the city. Yeah, not say main reason why you were there, what you did, but still describe it anyway. So guys, I can say that your answers were very nice, really. You said you started in the correct way. Nastya, you said the phrase. I was living like some in Odessa, yeah.
I know another sense. I need to use past perfect continuous because I said for 7 years and it was at past, but I used past continuous, but I know
It's
why.
okay in this case.
No,
If
it's
it's
not
not
okay.
real now, if it's not connected to now, why do we need to use present? But some ages, this phrase is not okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Some years. Yeah, I was living there for some years.
few
It's
years maybe. Yeah.
for few years. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but not some ages. Yeah, like
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And George, about you especially, you use sentences when you start like we had, we needed, it was. So we need to use linkers. So Nasta is also for you, right? So linkers is a very important part in IELTS, in speaking and in writing. Today we're going to talk about writing. So I'm going to send you right now the linkers. Of course, you don't need to use all of them. Just 1 second, where are they? Linking words for speaking, for example. I have sent you this material. You can choose some of the phrases and try to use them in speaking. Yes, so in speaking and in writing, of course, some of them can be different, definitely. And you need to connect your sentences, for example, also, as well, however, moreover, by the way, anyway. Yeah, so you need to use these words because they make your speech more interesting and logical, not just sentence after sentence. Yeah, in this case, if you don't use linkers on IELTS, you will never get highest score in speaking, never. It's not just enough to speak. It's not enough just to use vocabulary. You need to use it appropriately and accurately. So you should remember it. Give you 1 minute to look at these linking words. If you have questions to some words, please ask. So guys, now I would like you to use some of these linking words to answer questions in task 18 on the page 29. George, can you please answer the first question? Like on the page 29, task 18. Have you found?
Yes.
So, do you think
I
that we will live
guess.
on the planets?
Okay. I guess we will meet with a big problem. Our planet will be overcrowded with people and will need more place to live. So we will make up with the idea that we need to go to other planets, and moreover, even now, scientists are trying to helping us and trying to build some spaceship, not just rockets, to no some spaceship with which we can fly further distances.
Okay, guys, in part 3, it shouldn't be so long answer, yes? So you can say just 3-4 sentences. Like Gosha said, it's enough. Nasta, the same question to you.
In my opinion, it's impossible right now and in the next 100 years. It's related to some factors. First of all, it is, first of all, I think we can reach more and we can find out more about living in another planet, but we can't to build a new cities to these planets. It's related to that we are not ready to build and to live in other planets because our scientists are not ready to do something for it.
Okay. After can't or can't, we don't use to. Okay, so can't
Yeah,
do something.
yeah, can't.
So this question is about prediction. Yeah, so you say about something like, guys, both of you, that now we're doing some researches, we're creating some rocket space, but it's the prediction. You can just say, like you said at the beginning, well, I guess it's not possible because maybe in 100 years people will still live on the planet, and who knows, well, maybe there will be some alternative solutions. Well, maybe population will use or will have used some solar panels everywhere, and like this one. Yeah, so you need to use predictions, but not say what we do now, what we don't do now, because it's about 100 years. So you need to say about prediction. You need to focus on questions as well, because in this question they check your ability to predict and use future tenses, but you didn't use future tenses. Okay, it's important. Okay, question 2, George. George, you think a lot. In this case, you will not have so much time to think.
Okay.
Try to improvise.
I suppose that 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 the people who can't who wouldn't be able to live in the cities because they won't be allowed, they all could be divided in some small groups. For instance, there will be 10 of them, and they will try to survive. They will cooperate one with each, no, one with each other, and even they maybe could build another small village or even a city.
Okay, it's a very good idea, honestly. Very creative, let's say it. Nasta, what do you think?
I think it have already happened right now because China has the same experience. They've allowed it and they put some limits to expand the population in his country, and I think it's a good idea for this country. But if we are talking about other countries like European Union's countries, I think it's not a good idea because some countries like как будет Бельгия,
Belgium.
Belgium, sorry, Belgium has another problem with oldest. They have the oldest population, and I think it doesn't господи, okay, that's it's end of my answer.
It sometimes can happen on the exam. What will you do? It can happen that you forget a word. So will you say never mind?
Never mind.
No,
No.
it's not okay. If you don't remember the word, let me rephrase. Yeah, you should say, let me rephrase.
Ну, тут такие слова употребляют, старение, нации, все остальное. Я просто не могу это употребить на английском языке. Может, не надо вообще об этом говорить? Но я уже начала фразу.
Ну, вы начали фразу, да, то есть вам ее нужно каким-то образом закончить. У вас просто, если вы такое будете говорить, вам просто поставят, ну, там, 1-2 скора, и все. То есть на этом это все зависит от вас. You need to take the control of the situation. If you started saying about this, so, well, let me rephrase, this is really a problem, yes, so not only for Belgium, but all population, it's really just kind of burden maybe for young people. You like say something, it doesn't matter exactly, but if you just say never mind or хорошо всё, this is just bad for you. That's it, really. In this case, you can't just finish like this. And Nastya, this question is not about population at all. This question is about what if government put limits to how many people would live. But you say about China, yes. About expanding, yes, it's a good example. But about old population, so in this case, you answer a little bit different question, really. You just give example of what we have now. Yes, now we have population which is older in European, but what? What to do with this? We have the question which is different. What if the government put limits? We talk about hypothetical situation, which is maybe not real. Yeah, because China doesn't have she has limits, yeah, but it's just a bit different. So you can give those examples.
But in this question, I can find the join of population, and it's the result to put some limits to live in the big city. Why I can't use the mixture of these answers with population?
What is the connection between all the population and people who live in big cities and ban?
If you're talking about the limit to put some limits in living in the city, it's related on maybe first of all that we have a lot of population right now, and as a result, we need to put some limits to live some groups in a big city or maybe countryside to building some new additional houses. And I think that why I don't use or I don't answer about the population in this question, because I think that it related to this question.
Yeah, okay, again, my question is, what is the connection? Like you say about all this population. So what is the connection to all this population and ban people? Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to describe another situation, maybe in another country, Belgium, that has another situation with elder of nation, and it doesn't matter or doesn't apply to this country, because I compared China and Belgium, because China has this problem, but Belgium hasn't ever had this problem because it's unreal.
I don't see connection really.
Okay.
Nastya, you have the question. What would happen if? So why do we talk about Belgium now? Why do we compare Belgium to China?
I talk that it's related right now and future time too.
No, you didn't say. Maybe you want to say Nastya. No, so in this case, I tell you, be very careful. You don't have so much time in part 3. So in this case, I have really so many questions to you. Why did you say this? Why you say that? We have this question, so you must be brief and you really need to explain. What do you mean? Maybe you're right. Maybe there is a connection, but I still don't get it. Because now I can say that you talk about elderly population and examples of China. That's it. But in
Okay.
this case, like, what would happen if government put limits? So first of all, I'm not sure that government could ever do it, yeah, because it's not so humanistic. Second, we have universal rights. So if it happens, then I think people would strike, would protect themselves because everyone has the right to live in the big cities. Definitely, we have this problem with the population, but still, I think it can be solved somehow as we can build cities. We have plenty of land. So in this case, I don't give example and don't compare any countries, but it's just my answer. Of course, it's all different. Yeah, you need to operate on words. Uh, just give me 1 second. No, Nastya said age of nation. What is age? Like this one.
Старение как процесс, я хотела сказать.
Age.
Old year.
I don't know what is age.
Aging maybe, yeah. Aging of the nation, yeah. It's aging, yeah.
Aging population, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. And question number 3, George, please start.
I think this situation has both advantages and disadvantages. Of course, there may be less expenses in the whole town. I mean that different families need less costs to buy product because there's less members of the family who to feed. Also, there might be less noisy because teenagers now and young people, they are listening loud music in little groups, and they may annoy someone. On the other hand, some of them may be geniuses, and this little town lose its chance to become famous for these people. Moreover, in this situation, many people from other cities may understand that this town might be not so exciting to visit, because if person like that moved from this place, then there isn't much to see and to find out.
Okay, so you said about the effects that can cause small towns, but they're not so
Yes,
clear.
effect in
Like,
advantages, disadvantages.
but they're not so clear. Like, people will not visit small towns. There will be not so many people, as I understood, or the famous people can just leave the town and it will be not famous. Is it right?
Like, yeah, these genius may be famous people in the future, and people will understand that if this person moved from this town, that you didn't want to live there like the
Yeah,
whole life.
possibly. It's also
Possibly.
correct answer, right?
What?
How can you say this word? I write in the Zoom chat.
What? Expenses. Is that
Not
right?
expenses, it's expenses.
Expenses.
Yeah, expenses. Yeah. And you said one phrase, I don't remember. If you remember, I don't know, like less members who defeat. What did you mean by this phrase? Less members who defeat.
Там было слово feed. Who, ну,
Who
которых
feed?
нужно кормить.
Who must be fed.
Who must be fed.
It's passive in this case, yeah, like who must be fed. Or we have the phrase bring the bacon. For example, all the time there is like one member of the family who always must bring the bacon to family, yeah, like bring some money, bring food. Okay, Nastya, the same to you.
I agree that we really have this problem right now, and we live in agrarian country, and we are talking about Ukraine. Yes, this problem is hot because a lot of people move away from countryside, from small cities, and we don't forget that Ukraine is agrarian country, and the agrarian activity will be felt, will be reduced, and it will be influenced to some spheres in our life, in economic structures and others that we are very need to us.
That's it, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it, right?
Okay, Nastya, it's very good answer. Once it's very like full, understandable and clear. You talked about some economical point of view, yeah, because small towns is always about economy. Just the phrase will be fallen, not felt, what will be
Yeah.
fallen. About and other sides. Sometimes you don't finish the sentence. If not mistaken, you just said it's not a good idea, or in other sides. Yeah, like sometimes you don't finish your words. For example, and other sectors and other industries can suffer. Yeah, like try to finish, try to be more understandable in this case. Okay, this is very nice, really, guys. So today we're going to look at the last part, which is writing. If you remember, we have two tasks in writing. Task number one is describing of diagram. It's task which is related to only academic IELTS exam. So please open your books on the page 14. This can be complicated at first sight because we don't every day, not every day we use them or look at graphs. Yeah, but with the practice it becomes easier. So page 14, have you found?
Yes.
Oh, just 1 second. I scrolled down.
George, if you opened, you can look at this task number one. Nastya, have you opened?
38 page.
Oh, page 14.
14.
Yeah. So we have two words, grow, right? The verb grow, and adverb rapidly, like grow rapidly. And now we need to use this combination of words grow rapidly to complete sentences which describe graphs from 1 to 5. The first is done. Nastya, do you see it?
Yeah, I see.
The first is done. As you can see, guys, by the way, when you look at the graph, you need to look attentively at the horizontal and vertical lines, at numbers. For example, we have 5 years ago today, 50 and 100 of something. So we can see that the line goes up, right? We can say that since 5 years ago, sales, maybe it's about sales, have grown rapidly to 90,000 because it's not 100. So plus minus, you must be like precise. By the way, as well, when we describe graphs, we need to use grammar tenses. Let's look at the second graph. Between, and we need to complete.
You're between 2 years. Yeah.
You need to say between 1980 and 1990.
Sales have grown, but not rapidly.
Why not rapidly?
Rapidly, because we have difference in 10 years. It's
So
not rapidly.
What does it mean, the word rapidly?
Rapidly, it's rapidly. I mixed it.
Fast or
Okay.
dramatic. Yeah, we can say it's a dramatic growth, right? So anyway, within this 10 years, we can see this dramatic growth. So between 1980 and 1990, George, what's your option here?
In 1990, sales have grown rapidly.
Maybe you can also say are expected to grow rapidly to 90%, or were expected to grow rapidly. We don't know grammar tenses, but in this case can be in present, and future, and past. The next one, graph number 3.
It's a future. Yeah, we can use only the different of tenses.
Because yes, in this case, only future.
From 2020 or 20 to 2030, 30, sales will be grown.
Will be grown
rapidly.
Exactly.
Rapidly.
Maybe will grow rapidly. Yeah. Will grow rapidly.
Why? Because it's past. It's a passive voice.
Why? You talk about sales or what?
Sales. It's a продажи сами не растут, как бы, ну да, и мы говорим о том, что это пассив. Вырастут, ну как бы это же.
Sales?
Я бы сказала, что will be, ну то есть они как бы сами ж не вырастут. Это я могу вырасти, кто-то может вырасти, но не продажи вырастут сами. И есть люди, которые способствуют выращиванию, потому что продажи растут.
Well, in this case, I don't agree with you because we have the phrase sales will grow or price goes up. Price are going up, we don't say it. Цены растут. In this case, we have the same in our language and we say price rises or prices are gonna be rising prices. It's not passive. It's not like the car is produced, you know, like by somebody. You can say that the prices are predicted to be risen by government. It's not in this case a little bit. Okay, because we don't have the information who will reduce or who will increase the sales. Don't make your life complicated, honestly. In this case, you can just simply say the sales will grow rapidly. You can say it as passive, for example, the sales are expected or will be expected to grow rapidly, still to grow. You can use as a passive, like will be expected to grow. Like this. Ожидаешь, что продажи вырастут. You can say it here. Like this. Okay. Graph number 4, George.
I had a question in the third.
Okay.
Is it possible to say sales will have grown? У нас же есть отрезок определенный.
Will have grown. Guys, you know, we have from 2020 to 2030. Will have grown to, well, I don't know in this case. It's possible. In this case, guys, anyway, you will have context. Now it's okay, but I would say it as a prediction because, like, you know, when we talk about graph, in many cases we predict, we don't have facts. But anyway, you will just look later a little bit that you will have situation. So maybe in situation you can say will have grown. Why not?
Okay.
But it depends.
By the year.
Number 4, yeah.
The sales have grown.
The same what?
Sales have grown.
Guys, by the year 2000, it's past, really.
Past simple.
Happened, huh?
Past simple, maybe.
No, it happened even by before this time. Yeah, like you can see it before the time. Before
Past perfect.
Yes.
Past.
Guys, do you see the line in number 4? We have 2000 and before 2000 it's number 1980. So by the year, к этому времени уже что-то выросло, right?
Ага, ну да, точно. Да. We used, I used to use past perfect if we have past simple and past perfect in one sentence, and it's not короче, это непривычно видеть в таком виде.
Guys, this is graph. It's a description of graph. In this case, you need to look at some numbers, at features. It's not essay. You don't retell story what happened before. But in some cases, yes. Not always you will use past perfect. I don't use it at all, honestly. Well, it's just checking your grammar. In this case, you will not. Maybe you can use and past simple and past perfect, but it's not like a story. You will see later how it looks like. So how to say this sentence? Nastya, can you?
For sentence. By the year 20,000, yeah.
2000.
I'm sorry, yeah. 2000 sales had grown rapidly to blah blah.
To 9,000, right?
Yeah.
And the last one, number 5, George.
By the year 2020, sales will grow.
In this case, it should be will have grown.
Present. It's a future. It's a future present.
Future perfect.
Perfect simple, right?
Yeah.
In this case, it's like more about future, and if you have by sometime, if you have by sometime, something will be completed. In this case, it's definitely future perfect. So, for describing graphs, you need to know some words. There are not so many.
I'm sorry. I have one question. If the last sentence, the author used not by the year 12 and 12, if we used 12 and 21, we used what the tense?
Again,
if we used not the year 20 and 20, if we used another year 20 and 21, by the end of 20 and 21, we used what tense?
Is it present, past, or future?
Present.
Like in your example, yeah? Is it present?
Я хотела сказать, что когда будет past, future, past, future,
Past, future.
да,
Future,
future, past, perfect, да, вот. Это будет к концу 2019 получается, да?
Нас не понимаю вас. Future,
Когда
past, perfect.
когда мы употребили бы future, past, perfect,
Такое
если
нету времени, как future, past, perfect.
had, та-та-та,
Past
что такого
perfect.
нет? Ну, есть present perfect, только это во
Есть
future.
past perfect и есть future perfect.
Да, только во future мы употребляем с вот этой вот там конструкция, когда past, короче, ладно, неважно.
Future in the past у нас есть это вот, или что имеется в виду?
Ладно, давайте следующее.
Okay. So, we have task 2. In this case, you have very, very useful words. You have verbs, adverbs, and sometimes phrases that you definitely will use. Please look at the words. No more questions? So now I'm going to show you one slide. On this slide, you will see some more words that can be useful for you in your writing. So give me just a second, I will open it. And if honestly, guys, I really recommend you to write down the words that you don't know, or just write down the table, like, for example, positive, negative, trends. Yeah, like somehow organize it in your writing, you will just remember it better. So let me share my screen with you. So now we're going to look at some vocabulary that can be useful as well for your writing. We have words in the red box, and we need to categorize them. Which words mean go up? Which words mean go down? Just a second, guys. Not all words I have in the slide. I need to open it from my another slide because this is not full. This will be better. Yeah, all the words here. So give you just 1 minute to look at the words. If you have questions, please ask. And also you can draw the table in your notebook. So if you don't have questions, let's get started. Sometimes, guys, you can have word which means like neutral position, not up and not down. So in this case, you can just categorize it as extra word. So the first word is stabilize. What does it mean, stabilize?
It's not falling, but one numbers of one things it brings to one level, not up, not down.
Yes, it's neutral. It's a stabilize. Very good. Increase.
Up.
Go up.
Definitely. Level off.
What is it?
Level of but it's down.
No,
Maybe.
it's like neutral. Level off, it's a kind of neutral position.
Okay.
What position? What position?
Neutral, like flat, we can say it. Yeah, it's not up and not down. Okay, rocket.
It sharply go up.
Definitely. The next.
Decrease.
Down.
Decrease is down, definitely.
Climb, go up.
Climb, go up.
Plummet.
Plummet is sharply down.
Plummet is down.
Yeah. Very, very sharply down.
Drop.
Give me just a second. I think I'm a little bit confused.
Plummet used in
yes,
stock funds.
You're right. Definitely,
Stock
yes.
funds with securities.
Yeah. Plummet will go down, right? Okay. The next one.
Drop down.
Definitely.
Decline down. Reach a peak. It's where top. Reach a top. Yeah, peak its top.
Yes.
It's up.
Like reach a peak is like you are on the top position, right? So you already reached the peak. Yes, you're just on the highest position here. Okay.
Grow. It's up. Plunge. I don't know.
The same is go down, plunge.
Yeah. Plunge. It's a synonym, yeah.
Synonym. Yeah,
Synonym.
kind of.
Thank you. Full. It's down.
Fluctuate.
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 Fluctuate. Yes.
Oh.
Fluctuate.
Shade.
Oh, so what is this? Fluctuate means when you go up and down, you know, like it's a kind of fluctuation. If you see it from some kind of graphs here, like up and down, this like fluctuation, we call it.
It changes the position, yeah?
Yeah, from up to down.
Up, down, up, down. Okay, rise, it's top. It's top, it's up.
Go up, right?
You go up and recover. It's up
also
here.
up. Yeah, you recover after some fall, right? So now the sales recover, we can say it. So guys, I really recommend you to use these words and of course the words from our book, because not so many of words you need to use to describe graphs, but they really can be very, very useful. So what kind of graph you can see? Give me just a second. I will show you the graph. So you can see a graph which looks like this.
I very like this grape. Only all grape.
You what one? Sorry.
I dislike all grapes because it's quite difficult to describe.
Yeah, because we don't used to it, you know, like it's not normal for us. We don't work with it, so it's just something which is new for all the people, definitely. So as you can see, you will have such kind of explanation, story, situation, and you have the graph. This is called line graph because we have line. Also, we can see bar charts and pie charts. You will see it. So you need to look at this information to the horizontal, to the vertical, to the word sales in millions. So 15 million, $30 million. This is years we can see. So all the information you must take into account when you describe graphs. Okay, so I stopped sharing my screen. Now let's go back to our book. You will see you need to open page 15. So how does your writing, how is your writing assessed? Sorry. On the page 15, you have task 1, task achievement. Task achievement, it means the examiner will look how well did you write it. Did you include all the points? Did you talk about sales but not about some problems with the pollution? Yeah. So I give you just 1 minute to look at these bullet points, to read what is task achievement, what you need to include. So now let's look at the task 3. This is a kind of graph that you can possibly get on your exam. So when you look at this graph, you need to ask yourself questions. For example, how many features do you have? We can see 3 lines. So raising cost of living, traffic, and lifestyle. Do we have same or different information? Well, it's different. Yes, so rising cost is just a bit higher. The lifestyle and traffic more or less the same, right? What about like years? We have 1999, 2000, and 2010. And also we have numbers on the left. So you first of all need to look at the graph to get familiar what is this graph about, because really it tells the story. The next you need to read the structure, like instruction. Yeah, we call it line graph, so please read the instruction which is above the graph. So guys, these numbers on the left, what does it mean? What are these numbers?
This graph is about why a lot of people prefer living on the countryside instead living in the city.
So my question is, what do these numbers mean? Like 10,000, 20,000, so what is this?
People.
People, yeah.
It's people. It's people. It's not millions, it's not dollars, right, in this case. So in task 4, you have answer to this graph, but this answer is a poor answer. It didn't get high score. You need to read and tell me why.
Tell what? Why?
You need to read this graph and tell me why this answer is not perfect.
Well, first of all, the first one, it's an introduction. It's not suit, and we don't use introduction and describe what
We
is
use
the graph.
introduction.
And another mistake is in their second paragraph, we don't describe why and what the reason why people did differently.
Okay, but about introduction, Nastya, we need to use introduction.
We need, yeah, really.
Like the line graph shows this and that. Definitely you need to explain what you write about.
Mhm. We need only need to describe the
What
lines
you
and
see.
amounts without any reasons and results and any consequences
Personal
of this.
opinion.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm. George, what do you think? Why this writing is not perfect?
There are a lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers is not bad, but these numbers are not always correct. Like, for example, the main reason for traffic, 70,000 left in 2010. Yeah, so these numbers are just incorrect. They are not appropriate, honestly. So that is why this is not a perfect answer. If you go to next page, this is rewritten, but still is not the best. So give me some time to read this answer too.
A lot of information. A lot of information. There are a lot of information in this
It's a lot of
answer.
information. Very wordy, let's say it, yeah.
Or it's very hard to hearing and to
read.
perception. Yeah, perception. I think that it's not describe. It's not description of grab. It's researchers of some reasons why people decided to live in the city.
Well, in some cases, it should be like research, you know, like you have data, you have information, and you research it. Yeah, like. When you finish reading this answer, you have teacher's comment A, B, C, and D. You need to match these comments with like paragraphs. You will see it 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think that this answer summarized why we have this problem, and it's a correct last one paragraph here. It's a correct. But if we're talking about another paragraph, a lot of information are this, and I can't understand the main picture of this research, because when I'm reading the ending of this paragraph, I forgot some information that mentioned above.
Okay. So we have like teacher's comments. Comment 8, don't speculate. You shouldn't suggest reasons for any change. All you need to do is report what you can see on the graph. Which is this paragraph about? Can you please find the sentence?
About speculation?
Yeah, the teacher commented on this writing that you don't need to speculate. You need to say only what you see on the graph, but not explain reasons for some changes. And you need to find the sentence which is not correct. George, can you say?
Or the second or the first?
The second.
The second.
So they couldn't afford to move. Well, who knows? Could or couldn't they afford? In our description, we don't need to say it. Yeah. Okay. Comment B. This section is too mechanical. Avoid simply listing the changes to a single category like this. Focus
The
more on
first.
highlighting the key figures and trends.
The first.
Hmm?
The first.
Definitely. Just writing numbers is not so good, right? Comment C. Better. You have included conclusion this time, but it doesn't really summarize the key features. Your tone is inappropriate. It sounds like you're writing a magazine article. Remember to keep the tone more formal and scientific.
Last one.
That's,
4.
this is like the conclusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, this section makes its points more clearly, but fails to include key data to demonstrate the points.
The third.
3.
Is number 3. So lifestyle levers rose consistently over the whole period, going up to 30,000 initially, then again up again to 2010. So in this case, we don't have enough data to demonstrate. You can just, the person just said it. Yeah, like then again, then rose, not clear data. So now in task number 6, let's look at A, B, and C and say which is the best conclusion for that task.
I think the first one. It's a
Why?
better answer, in my opinion.
And why?
Because if we used this answer, we summarized all information that we want to describe, and it's the better answer. Why I don't explain.
George, what do you think?
Wait. At first, I thought about A or B because both are good. But like, for me, the first was too small, but
Too short.
B too short, and B is too long. So I didn't know what to choose.
Okay, guys.
But I think it's also A.
So when you need to write down introduction, very short, and conclusion. But it doesn't matter that you need to look at is it big or is it small. Does it sound good or it doesn't sound good? Writing, describing graphs, it's a very academic task. The best answer here is B, first of all, because the conclusion shouldn't have any numbers. In A, we have mistake. It should be as minimum from 1990 to 2010 as minimum. About these 3 main reasons, it's not always true. Yeah, we don't talk about 3 main reasons. We just describe. The next, in conclusion C as well, we have numbers, which is not so practical. You don't need to include data again because you already said about it in main data. In conclusion, you need to say just the, like, you have the instruction. Yeah, when you write. So conclusion, it's a paraphrase of your instruction. And that's it. You don't need to include something that you think, like it tells us, like, why do people leave? Well, you don't need to say it. Yeah, like paraphrase just the instruction. In essay, it's a bit different. This is like the describing graph. So, and one more task, it's number 7 on the next page. We have some notes that one candidate made, and this notes helped to write effective description. So we have words in this box. Let's try to complete the notes with the words. Please look at the words. If you have questions, just ask. So if you don't have any questions, you can complete the 7 gaps. So guys, can we check it? Let's try, yeah? Okay, so what about the first? You can just try it, yes? What do you think is the appropriate word?
Highest.
Stable point.
And you, George?
Highest.
Yes, because we have article the, so the best, the highest. Yeah, the stable point is the stable point. Yeah, we can say in this case, the highest point. Okay, number 2. Greatest overall. Yeah, like overall rise, like in general, it's overall 40,000. No more, no less, just general overall. Number 3.
Notable.
Most consistent.
Consistent, and George?
Notable.
Notable, most notable rise. Yeah, because it's most visible rise between this and that. Consistent, it's not in this case, right? Number 4.
Most lowest and consistent.
And
Lowest we used in the first one, and it's
in the first is highest.
Highest. I think it's not lowest.
Я тоже знаю,
Сравнительная вот эта степень не может быть most lowest.
So most consistent and stable. Yeah, like increase, stable increase and consistent increase. Okay, number 6, remained.
Remained.
Remained the lowest.
Yeah,
like 2000 is the lowest.
The lowest.
And the last one?
Joint lowest.
Joint
lowest in the first year presented. Yeah, joint lowest, and then it goes up. As well.
Don't we use the preposition or the article there? In this case here, the joint lowest.
Phrase. It's a kind of phrase, joint lowest. number. In this case, it's not the highest, not the lowest. And also in task 8, you need to pay attention to adverbs because you must use adverbs in your task 1 writing. It's really important because in the task 1 writing, you describe trends. You describe different moves, right? Falls and like drops and rise. So adverbs and adjectives, and as well passive structures. You must use it. So your homework will be exercise 11 on the page 18. You're going to write down task 1, and you need to send me this task before next lesson if you want to check and get feedback. You can send to managers and they will send it to me. Before the next lesson, page 18. Do you have questions to your task?
Page 18.
Page 18, yes, it's next page. You have exam skills, task 11, to practice describing task 1 graph. It's a line graph. So if you send me before the next lesson, I will check it and you will get the feedback. You will see what you need to improve. But anyway, guys, we will still have some more practice with it.
You're okay.
George, do you have some more questions?
No.
No? Okay. So guys, I hope that it wasn't so complicated today for you. So wish you a nice day, wish you not so hot evening, and see you next lesson. Bye guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.